I am the Game Recommender and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at VR games. I think the whole concept of VR is just such a cool idea, the way that we're able to transport ourselves into our own little virtual worlds. Now with that, there are some great VR games, but that means that there's also some bad ones, and today I hope to recommend the very best. Starting off slow, I'd like to introduce you all to a little game called Floor Plan. Floor Plan is a budget VR experience only costing you £4.99 here in Britain. In this game, you'll be solving cleverly designed puzzles inside of an elevator. The game has you going from floor to floor trying to find several items of clothing for this mannequin. All of the floors have some sort of importance, which is really what I like to see. Now, not only does this game have amazing puzzles, but also has some funny characters that'll most of the time help in solving the puzzles. There's a sentient piggy bank, a sentient gumball machine, a sentient flower pot, a sentient snowman. I did not realise how many things are sentient in this game. Anyways, if you're looking for a low-budget puzzler in VR, then Floor Plan just might be the game for you. It's available on PlayStation, but is VR required. So if you do want to play this game, you are going to need a VR headset. What did you say your name was? Next up, I'm going to talk about a fan favourite of mine, Astro Rescue Mission. For me personally, this is a 10 out of 10 game. For those of you who don't know, Astrobot Rescue Mission is a VR platformer which sees you as the player controlling Astro, who's basically PlayStation's mascot at this point. You'll be platforming through unique levels as you try to defeat the evil alien, the main villain of the game. There's a bunch of stuff you can do as the player too, other than control Astro. For example, you'll be using your controller to do various things, like water some plants so that Astro can jump onto them. I do also need to say how beautiful this game is. Everything in this game looks truly perfect, making you feel like you really are inside of a game. So yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 suggestion from me. It's got good gameplay, looks stunning, and there's so much more other things you can do that I haven't even mentioned because this video will be an hour long if I did that. Even the boss fights are good, testing you on everything you've learnt from abilities with your controller to seeing how you can use waves to jump over stuff. It's available on PS4 and once again is a VR required game. Up next we have the Playroom VR, which is yet another game featuring Astro. The Playroom VR is a game which holds a bunch of mini-games. What I think is cool about this game is the way in that it handles multiplayer. You see, some of these games are two-player, with one player having the VR headset and the other player just looking at the screen with a controller. All of these mini-games are a blast and incredibly fun. It also makes for some hilarious sessions with friends with the whole two-player aspect on some of the mini-games. And just like Astrobot, this game looks fantastic. My favourite minigame would have to be this monster one, where you control this big monster and you get to knock down buildings whilst the other player runs away from you, dodging the falling debris that you, as the monster, get to create. It all ends with a final battle between the monster and the other player, where the other player throws objects at the monster and the monster has to avoid them by moving their head. This game is available on PS4 and is yet again a VR required game. The next game I have to recommend is PlayStation VR Worlds. This is another game which holds a bunch of mini-games, a lot like the Playroom VR. However, the difference is that the mini-games here are a lot bigger than the Playroom VR's mini-games, some of them even telling full-blown stories. Now, there's no two-player like the Playroom VR, but that doesn't make this a bad game at all. In some cases, this is even a better game than the Playroom VR. My favourite minigame here would have to be Scavenger's Odyssey, which sees you as an alien piloting a mech, taking down hordes of creepy crawly aliens, and taking part in the amazing story this game has to offer. If you're looking for a game like the Playroom VR, but you want it to be bigger and have a lot more story to it, then PlayStation VR Worlds might just be the game for you. It's available for PS4, like the name suggests, and is VR required. Squeaking its way into my recommendations is Moss, a game where you play as a cute mouse as you embark on a fairy tale-like quest. A lot like Astro Rescue Mission, Moss has you controlling Quill, the cute mouse I mentioned a few seconds ago, with you being in the background of things. Now, there's no controller abilities, but you do get this weird orb that you can use to do various things, like heal Quill when she's damaged, or control enemies. And like all of the games I've mentioned, this game looks stunning and straight out of a fairy tale. So if you're looking for a VR experience like Astrobot, but want more of a medieval fantasy fairy tale adventure along with it, then I'd definitely recommend Moss. It's available for PS4 and the Oculus Quest, and like every other game I've mentioned, it's VR required. Rez Infinite is a weird game to explain. Pretty much, Rez Infinite sees you aiming at several enemies and then shooting at all of the enemies you've aimed at. Once an enemy is shot, it makes a certain sound, so I guess you could also class it as some weird rhythm game. Rez only contains 5 levels, but these levels last a surprisingly long time. You can also play it in Area X, which is pretty much just the main game but with smoother modern day graphics, and you're able to travel wherever you want. Simply put, it's a weird and abstract game. Its gameplay is weird and abstract, its art style is weird and abstract, and even its music is weird and abstract. But to be completely honest, this adds a lot of personality to the game, and if you're looking for a shooter/rhythm game where everything's weird and abstract, this might just be the game for you. It's available for Oculus Quest and PS4, and surprisingly enough, isn't VR required. And you thought Rez Infinite was weird enough. Paper Beast is a game that has you travelling around an incredibly weird world where the clouds are letters of the alphabet. You'll be helping out weird creatures made out of paper by solving incredibly hard puzzles that take you an hour to solve. Okay, in all seriousness, I do have to say that Paper Beast is one of my favourite games of all time. Even if the puzzles do take an hour to solve, it's a game where you can really get attached to all the unique characters. The beasts in this game don't even talk, they don't even have names, but they were put into the game so well that I just fell in love with them. I even went on to name them. This is Percival, this is Reginald, and this is Reginald too. If you're looking for a game where you befriend weird paper things and solve long and complicated puzzles, then this is probably a game for you. It's available on PS4 and is once again VR required. Up next is another favourite of mine. If you don't know, I'm really into rhythm games, and when I found Thumper, a VR rhythm game, I was immediately hooked. But its rhythm aspect wasn't the only thing that intrigued me. You see, Thumper sort of combines a rhythm game with a horror game. The only reason I say sort of is because I wouldn't necessarily say that it's scary. It's more creepy and gives you that eerie feeling. But this honestly works in the game's favour. You're always on edge as you travel through these weird dystopian tunnels and the like, and it makes the game better than it has any right to be. The music here too is amazing. Not that it's good in any means, but that it works along with the game's theme of putting you on edge. Most rhythm game songs are happy and jolly, but these songs are comprised of these weird metallic sounds that once again work along with the game's theme of putting you on edge. If you're looking for a rhythm game, but you're also a fan of the horror genre, then I definitely recommend Thumper. It's available for Oculus Quest, Oculus Rift, Oculus Go, and PS4. This game is also not VR required, so even if you don't have a VR headset, give it a try. Finally, we have what I consider the best game I have to offer. Ever wondered what it would be like if we took John Wick and The Matrix and fused them together? Well, we'd get SuperHot VR. SuperHot VR is a game where time moves when you move. You'll be using this ability to shoot past enemies and dodge enemy bullets. The coolest thing about this game is, well, the VR itself. With the VR, you'll actually be dodging bullets, and my god, it is the coolest thing ever. It makes you really feel like you're in an action movie, and that just really makes the game excel. I don't really have a lot to say about SuperHot VR, but on the whole, I could recommend this game to literally everyone. I'm sure that a lot of people will have a fun time actually dodging the bullets and stuff. It's available for PS4 and is only VR required, but if you are interested in this game, then there is a normal version of it. It's pretty much just SuperHot VR, but with different levels, and as expected, it doesn't have VR. And there you go. Those were my recommendations on VR games. Thanks to everyone that's still watching, and if you have a favourite VR game, then go ahead and type it in the comment section. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.